remember in like fandom Twitter when you had like a close-knit group of fans and you all followed each other, and so you could just like make tweets.
Yep.
Just like without adding anybody, and you would just be like, your entire timeline would basically be just one big conversation of like tweets. That's like what my Twitter is. Every day, all day, it's just like random tweets. I don't even know what like the majority of them mean anymore, because it like was part of a conversation that like I can't find.
Yeah.
Ugh, what a time.
I think that was the happiest I've ever been. Was on Stan Twitter.
I was...
Well, no.
My only source of joy was Stan Twitter.
Yeah.
And my fan fictions. But aside from that, I was probably extremely mentally ill. Hence the Stan Twitter and fan fictions.
You just pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah.
No, but like I was definitely on Twitter, on Stan Twitter, for friendship and to feel something. So it's good. It's good.
Well, welcome to episode 6 of the Lonely Cast. We've made it 6 episodes in. Absolutely
I'm shocked.
Killing it. Yeah. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Look at us. Yeah. This episode's going to be really fun and interesting because Brittany and I have both had quite a colorful and long-ish history involved in different fandoms and internet communities throughout our adolescence, and we're going to delve into those and see what kind of content we were creating back then.
Nothing good.
Primarily in the format of fan fictions, but God, it'll be wild. It'll be good.
It's gonna be a journey.
Yeah.
I think first I want to know which bands, artists, whomever you stand.
I think I'm not gonna go back to like my first like boy band crush or anything like that. Unless, should I?
I want it all, Abby.
Yeah?
I want to know everything.
Jonas Brothers was probably the first like boy band that I was like, yeah, and I was a Joe Jonas girl. Really loved Joe.
I was a Kevin girl. No, I wasn't. I don't know why I said that.
Wait, were you?
No.
Or are you trying to cover up the fact that you're a Kevin girl now?
There's something about him, but I was a Nick girl.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Honestly. Yeah. So first Joe Jonas. And then my first introduction into like Stan Twitter, this is embarrassing, was Cody Simpson.
That's not embarrassing. I was obsessed with him too.
Yeah, that was my first Stan Twitter that I ever had. It was a Cody Simpson Stan Twitter.
Nice.
I absolutely adored that man. And I think that's when like there was this like ongoing war between me and my parents of whether or not I was allowed to have Twitter, and so they'd like every once in a while find out that I like had a new Twitter or something, and they'd like ground me from my phone or make me delete it or something like that. So I think what happened is like after Cody Simpson and they found out, they made me delete my Twitter, and then a couple years later I came back with like a raging I didn't have Twitter for the One Direction craze. Because my parents were really mad at me about that. So, like, I never really participated in, like, One Direction fan Twitter, but I was a huge 1D stan. Like, my best friend and I in junior high would make each other posters and, like, collages. My entire bedroom wall, my parents would only let me have one bedroom wall, but I covered it, like, ceiling to floor, just all One Direction posters.
Oh, one bedroom wall to decorate. You said they only let me have one bedroom wall. I was like, I was trying to picture the setup. They're like, no privacy in this household.
I slept outside. It was like a Sims build of just like one wall with like a little bit of an overhang and a bed underneath. No. They just let me have one wall to decorate. and I was a Niall girl for One Direction. That's when
it.
I also started writing fan fictions, but I would kind of just like write them for my friend and I. Like I never ended up posting them anywhere. I just handed them in for like school assignments and stuff, which is embarrassing.
What did you write about? Like, was it just like...
I think like when we had like creative writing assignments, I remember there was this one specific one that I titled Strawberry Kisses. And it was basically...
Sorry.
Whatever. It was basically... This was like after I was writing. So I always have loved creative writing. And in like the 7th grade, I went through a big horror phase. And I was like reading a bunch of like Goosebumps and R.L. Stine novels and stuff like that. And I ended up writing like a bunch of horror in the 7th grade, like really like gruesome, like nasty shit. I went from that to writing just Niall Horan, like one shots and imagines and handing those in for...
Your teacher's like, we need to talk about your daughter. She's going through something.
Like, how did they not see that I was like unstable? Like just a little unhinged. But whatever, they were like, this writing is... I was talented, so maybe that was the thing. It's like, well, she's really good at it, so we can't be concerned yet. We have to see where this goes. But yeah, this fan fiction that I handed in for a creative writing project was called Strawberry Kisses, and it was an elaborate date night in Paris, France, with Niall Horan.
Classic.
Yeah, so I did that, and then from One Direction, I ended up finding this band from the UK called the Vamps, and they had this cover of Little Things by One Direction on their YouTube, and that was like the first thing that I saw. And I remember the lead singer of that band, whose name was Brad, I like saw him and I was like, I'm a Brad girl. I was like,
that's my husband.
And I think after seeing that video, I like got on Twitter that night. I was like, I am starting a Twitter for this band. I absolutely adore them. And that was like probably the height of my stan Twitter days, was for the Vamps, for Brad. I ended up getting followed by all of the members of the band and their management and their band account, and like Brad and I would DM occasionally and stuff like that. Wow. And he wasn't like crazy older than me either, so like it wasn't weird or anything. Like he was always a minor when I was a minor when we were messaging, so like it was normal, because I think he's only like 2 years older than me or something.
So you don't have to cancel anyone right now?
No.
Okay.
And it was like all very innocent. Like he would be like, oh, Merry Christmas, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing for your holidays and stuff? And like, so we would message occasionally, and like that just, I was like, it's done. We're going to be together. We're going to be together forever. And I started writing a fan fiction about him. This is like also creepy. Like going through like my fan fictions and through my Twitter has made me realize like it's all just kind of terrifying. Like if someone had that big of an obsession with me, I would get a restraining order. But I mean, obviously like boy bands and girl fandoms and stuff, like it was normal, so I can't like be too mad at myself for it. But like, yeah, it's fucking creepy. I'm gonna read excerpts later and you'll see what I mean. But like,
I think it's funny that we would think that these guys would, like, we were gonna end up with them while writing about our relationship with them. Like, what sane person would like read this like book that this person has written about them and be like, yeah, I want to date him?
Like, even, I mean, I'm even thinking about, like, you know, I'm a 23-year-old adult now. If I somehow end up running into him at some bar, like, one day in my life, and there's, like, something there and there's an attraction, right? I think that I would just genuinely be just too mortified to even, like...
Oh, you can't pursue it.
Because knowing me, I would 100% say something.
Yeah.
I could not pretend that I'd never heard of him or known him before. I couldn't do that, because I would be like, oh, I hope you know that I have a fan fiction I wrote about you online that has almost 200,000 reads, and a sequel about it, and also a Twitter dedicated to it, to you. So I would let it slip, and then it would just be very embarrassing. So I just like, it's fine. I've admitted defeat. It'll never happen. I've ruined that for myself. What about you though? Where did your fandom stan Twitter days start?
Well, the first account that I made on Twitter was for JC Kalen.
Really?
O2L, yeah.
Ooh.
It was weird. My handle was literally I love JC Kalen. I was very creative. He tweeted me back once. I almost shit my pants.
Yeah.
That phase lasted like very briefly though. And then I think the first while of me being on Twitter, it was just like random actors and like YouTubers that I liked watching that I would just tweet at all the time because I was annoying. And then when I actually made like an account surrounded around someone, it was for One Direction.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. But I also used that account for like 5 seconds of summer and the Janoskians at one point, which if you don't know who the Janoskians are, they were these teenage boys from like, I don't know if it was New Zealand?
Australia,
yeah.
Yeah.
Who did the grossest shit online. Like their videos were for boys. They would like throw up in them, but they were cute teenage boys with an accent, so I was like, I'm in love.
Yeah, well, and I feel like they had like a really big fan base because I remember it was a time where like Casper and like O2L and freaking Jack's Gap and stuff. They were all getting really big. But yeah,
I just thought it was so funny because like if I showed anyone those videos, they'd be like, "This is gross. Why are you watching these?" And I was like, "Isn't he cute?" I know he just like threw up in this video that I showed you, but he's kind of handsome.
Like, it's just like quirky, you know, like it's like just a little gross. Like boys are just so silly.
Literally. But I mean, back then I didn't know what boys were like. I was just like, that's chill. That's what boys do. They throw up on the internet. But yeah, I think I got so into Twitter because I was very lonely. I had like one friend at the time, but it was one of those, they're my best friend, but am I their best friend? I think it was like the 7th grade where I was like really into it. But then this one friend that I had, it turned out that she also had a One Direction fan account. So we bonded over that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had a blast. I made so many friends. I went to a One Direction concert in Vancouver, and I like met some people that I was talking to online there, which
that sounds
a little dangerous,
honestly.
But yeah, they were all who they said they were.
Yeah. Me now as an adult, I'm like, that sounds like the fucking dream, but
yeah. No, there was one girl, I think her name was Emma, and we were talking on Twitter for so long, and then she tweeted about getting tickets to this concert, and I was like, oh, I'm going too. And we were trying to like meet up there, and I'd never been to this stadium because I'd never been to Vancouver before. And she's like, oh, come to this bathroom. And like now as an adult, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, you're not who you say you are, block, delete, I need to get out of this building. But I was like, okay. It ended up being her. She was just like in line for the bathroom and was like, just come here. But yeah, I made a lot of friends that I still like follow on Instagram and stuff.
Oh my god, that's so nice.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm really friends with, like, I still have my old, like, I have access to my old Twitter, so, like, if I wanted to, I could totally, like, DM people and reach out. But I don't know. I feel like we're all adults now. We've moved on to different things. A lot of them have moved on to BTS. I'm not gonna lie. When I go through that Twitter, like, news feed, I'm like,
that
all right.
Fandom,
so we're all in our 20s and still, like, standing BTS. I get it.
That fandom scares the shit out of me.
Oh, really?
With peace and love.
Yeah.
Love BTS.
We
Love
cannot.
you guys.
We
can't
accept the
afford
BTS
to say anything negative.
Yeah.
I don't really listen to their music. I have nothing bad to say, but I know how aggressive fandoms are just from being on that side of Twitter. And I don't think I would have survived the BTS fandom. Because you know when you like tweet like, oh, I don't really like Justin Bieber when you're on like a fan account?
Yeah.
Flooded by Justin Bieber fans telling you to kill yourself.
Yeah.
I think I would delete my account if BTS was around when I was on Stan Twitter.
I think with like my BAMS account, I like went back. This was like quite a few years ago, but I went back like a couple of years after I had stopped using it, and I tweeted, I was like, to be honest, their music isn't even that good anymore, but Brad's still hot, so like would hit. And I got so many likes and retweets on that tweet, and I was like, yeah, so that's like the state of like what that fandom is.
Yeah.
Where they're still like doing stuff, and I'm supportive. They're just still like just this poppy like boy band band. Like they're a band. They're trying to be a band, but they're more of a boy band style. It's just super like poppy. Hasn't really grown with the times. And honestly, like it just feels like they're still making music for teenage girls, you know?
Yeah,
which
you
is
kind
fine.
of have to shift your sound over a bit. Like, 5 Seconds of Summer, I still listen to some of their newer stuff.
Are they still making music?
Yeah. It's more... Like, they have a couple songs that, like, play on the radio and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Earlier on, it was more, like, pop punk. I don't know if that's an exaggeration. But in my opinion, it was more pop punk. And then they started, like, shifting their sound, and I wasn't that into it, but I listened to their, like, full album a while ago. And I was like, this is good. They're growing up, and they're, like...
what is their sound shifting to, if you don't mind my asking? If you don't know how to describe it, I can also listen to it later, but... It's
more pop.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It sounds very different. Like, listen to a song off their first album and then, like, their later album. I'll send you 2 songs to listen to.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't know. It's so good,
weird.
but...
That always makes me kind of sad. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, when a band goes from... Even if it is, like, a boy band, because given, like, it's not like 5 Seconds of Summer was this, like, amazing, like, you know, like, out of the ordinary, like, thinking outside the box artist.
No.
But, like... They had like that punk influence, right? Like that's what they wanted to be, and then just fully reverting to like popular, like just synth, super highly produced, like doesn't even sound like them anymore. That always like makes me sad. I don't know. I feel like the same thing kind of happened with the Vamps. Like they were very much like a like garage rock influenced. All of their covers were of like Kooks songs and like Arctic Monkeys songs and stuff like that. Like that's kind of where they were more invested in, and then like they started putting out music and it was all very like poppy, and you know, it wasn't bad, but it just like you could tell that their influences and what they were doing didn't really align, and so it probably wasn't what they wanted to be doing.
And that's not
Look
to
at
say
me
that...
getting defensive over like a boy band again.
I mean, it's not to say that like the music's bad now. It's just not what it used to be. But like you can say the same thing about like Fall Out Boy.
Oh yeah, true.
Like their newer stuff, there's some songs that kind of slap, but a lot of it I can't get into because it's not like even like 21 Pilots though. Like I don't know. I haven't liked their new albums at all, which is, I mean, saying something. Yeah. But yeah, no. Fall Out Boy, 21 Pilots, R.I.P. True. I think I came out of Stan Twitter when I made a group of friends that were actually doing what kids my age were doing. Is that a good way to word it? Like hanging out with boys and like starting to like drink coolers.
Okay.
So I kind of stopped using my account because of that, but also because as I got a little older, I just didn't have the same interest in like knowing what my favorite artist or my favorite band was doing all the time, which is a lot of stan Twitter. It's like updates.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they put out a song 3 weeks ago. Cool. I can still listen to it now. I don't need to be like sitting there waiting for it to be released and shit like that.
Exactly. I think mine was probably the same reason. Because I think I like was pretty heavily invested in like my stan Twitter up until around like the 9th or 10th grade maybe. And then like I kind of went into this like Instagram and like I was really getting into photography and stuff like that. And then I got rid of that and just had like no social media, and I was just writing my fan fictions for like most of the 10th grade, I think. Just because it was like the thing that I would always do. Like I don't even think I was really participating on stan Twitter anymore. Mm-hmm. I just liked writing, and so I had like a couple of other stories that I was writing on Wattpad. And I just kept updating those. And then I stopped when I got to grade 11 because, I don't know, I got a boyfriend. I got like a new group of friends, and like I just felt very overwhelmed by life itself, and I didn't really have it in me. And I remember I would like return every once in a while to my old Twitter just to see what was happening, and like it just wasn't the same. Yeah. And their fan base kept growing, and like it wasn't like there was like a core group of like 50 of us that were like all really close and would like talk all the time and like just had all of our inside jokes. And then with their fandom expanding and everything, I think the majority of us were just kind of like, they don't really need us anymore. And so we're just going to go do our own thing.
Yeah. Well, also I found that it got kind of mean. Yeah. Because a lot of the main reason that I was on there was like to have friends and like talk about this artist or this just like content creator that I really like with people. And it just, people started getting really defensive, and like, you weren't here from the beginning, and gatekeepy, and it just got really not fun to be a part of.
Yeah. Yeah. A little toxic.
Yeah. Did you ever do, I don't know if it was just the One Direction band, but did you guys do shipping?
Oh, yeah. I wonder if I can insert my shipping. I'll insert my shipping photos in post, and if you can find any of yours.
I think I have a couple. For those of you who don't know what shipping is, you basically just like post a photo of yourself and then ask your followers who they ship you with, as in who, like which band member they think you'd look the best with. So I did that for a lot of self-esteem reasons. I liked being told I was pretty. So I would, every time I saw one of those, I'd post my like best selfie and just let the compliments roll in.
Yeah. Oh my god, these selfies that I would like use too, they're on my like iPhone 4. Just terrible lighting in my mirror.
Yeah.
I'd like have my tongue out. I'd be like with my plaid tied around my waist and my Converse.
I love that.
What a time.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna walk over and grab an iPhone 4 charger and load up my old phone, because I probably have a shit ton of pictures on there.
Wait. Yes, that's a great idea.
I'll send them all over tonight. Okay, awesome.
Perfect. So, following this section, we're going to have just a quick little slideshow in memoriam of all of our shipping photos, exclusive to those of you who are on YouTube, unfortunately. If you're listening, though, I'll try to describe them as well. That would be fun. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking this is going to be a lot of editing, but it's fine. I'm committed. We'll do it.
Anything for the pod.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we touched base on when we left the fandom, when we started the fandom, or our fandom experiences. Did you have any, like, really, like, proud moments as a Stan Twitter user?
I don't really think I put in much effort to get noticed by, like, the bands, because I just assumed there's no chance. But there's a few times that, like, really great YouTubers that I still, like, support now tweeted back to me, and I just thought that was super cool. And then also just having people, like, say nice things to you was really nice.
When you got shipped with your fave.
Don't even get me started. I get, like, mad if they ship me with somebody I didn't want to be shipped with. I'd be like, are you fucking serious?
You kidding? Look how stupid we look together. Me, like, photoshopping a photo of the two of us together and being like, look how stupid that looks.
Fuck you. You think I'm a Liam girl? Are you dumb?
Wait, who were you a fan of for One Direction?
I started with Niall, and then I became a Harry girl. And then in 5 Seconds of Summer, Michael. My little anime boy.
Oh, okay.
I love him.
That makes sense.
I
never really got too much into 5 Seconds of Summer, but I was definitely, I think Callum was the one that I liked. I could be totally wrong though.
He's really cute.
Was there an Austin in 5 Seconds? Ashton.
He was the drummer.
Okay.
He had curly hair. He was real cute.
Oh, maybe I was an Ashton girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was either Callum or Ashton. But I like drummers, so I would believe that it was Ashton.
I liked all of them.
Yeah. God, when they released She Looks So Perfect, like, I still fucking love that song.
I like one of the first songs they released. I still listen to, like, regularly. It's called Heartbreak Girl, and it goes hard. Dude, I'll send that to you too.
I'm so excited for you to send me this.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like just a great song to, like, dance around to.
Okay, and I'm gonna send you some of my favorite songs early on from the Vamps. Maybe that's what I should do tonight, is while I'm making dinner, just, like, listen to all, like, old Vamps music and stuff, because there's definitely some, like, bops that I got down to. They had a song with Demi Lovato, which I think is, like, kind of funny and weird now.
Yeah.
But she was featured on the song called Somebody to You. You might have heard it before.
Yeah.
It played a lot on the radio and, like, on Disney Channel and shit, but what a time. Oh my god. That was, like, one of my favorite songs. And I remember I think it was the summer between grade 9 and grade 10, I put it on a mix for the boy that I really liked. And he told me it was his favorite song on the mix CD. And I was like, he's the one. He
gets me.
Out of all of the songs. Because I put, like, Sea of Love by Cat Power and, like, First Day of My Life by fucking Blind Pilot.
Oh, so you were in love.
I was in love. Yeah. And then I put Somebody to You. And he was like, that was my favorite. And I was like, oh my god. You skipped over, like, Elliott Smith and Cat Power and think the Vamps are your favorite? That's... wow.
Might be a red flag.
I think the Elliott Smith would have been the biggest red flag. I'm not gonna lie.
I was just thinking about that concert that I made my dad drive, like, 14 hours to get me to. And just what an experience that would have been for him to be there with all these, like, 12-year-old girls just screaming and sobbing. I was sobbing. For what? And there was this girl that was standing on her seat in front of me, and it was one of those, like, flip-down chairs in the stadium, and I literally kicked the bottom of her chair.
Holy
dad. Dude, Dude, I was a different breed back then. When you're a stan, nothing matters. Yeah. But I hit her chair and she kind of like fell, and then I felt bad, so I let her get back up on the chair, and I like watched the concert from like the stairs. But
oh my god.
That was crazy.
I ended up, because I never ended up traveling for a One Direction concert, but I went to it was their first ever concert in Edmonton, last ever tour. So I got to see One Direction minus Zayn. And I was like in the 11th grade, maybe 12th possibly at that point. And I went with my sister and we were like way up in the nosebleeds. And just like, I at that point had been kind of removed from the One Direction like stan phase, but I still like, I was like, this is my One Direction concert. This is my fucking moment. This is all I have ever wanted for my entire life. And I lost my mind. I screamed every lyric to every song. I was dancing in those stands. My sister, I don't even feel bad for her because she was being such a fucking party pooper. But like, she was just standing there beside me like, and I was like, dude, how are you not? But she was a Justin Bieber fan, so like, whatever.
That explains it.
Just kidding. Not valid. But yeah, no, I like lost my mind, and she was so embarrassed. She was like, why are you doing this? I was like, I don't care. This will probably be the only One Direction concert I'll get to go to in my life. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fucking take this opportunity and lose my mind. Absolutely. And I don't regret it. It was like one of the peaks of my life, probably.
I think it's funny that I'm going to find the picture. It's probably on my dad's Facebook of what I looked like going to the One Direction concert at like age 12.
Oh my God.
Going thinking that I looked hot as shit and that I was going to attract one of the boys. And everyone on Twitter, I guess, had the same idea because I see so many tweets about it and it's so funny. Just like shaving your legs when you're like 12 to go to a concert. Like, what do you expect to happen? Do you think this grown adult man is gonna pick you out of the crowd in your braces and
oh my God,
your unwaxed eyebrows?
They might.
I
mean, we've seen worse. Fuck.
No, but just so funny. I was like, I look so good. They're gonna notice me.
Yeah.
And I want to insert a picture of what I look like. Nobody wanted me.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Oh my God. It's true though. Oh my God. I think about like all of the photos that I used to, like, even just earlier when I was scrolling through my Twitter to find content to read on here. Like, it's just embarrassing. Like, I've privated that account. Like, it's not accessible to anybody except for like there's 421 followers on it. But like, it's all private and I don't think it's anybody that I know now.
Yeah.
But like, holy shit, like, just embarrassing and like so cringy. And I'm sure I've probably said like some god awful shit on there too that I just regret. But yeah, that's a whole era of my life that was just kind of kept secret, but not anymore.
Now everyone's gonna know.
It's true.
Speaking of fan fiction, fan fiction was so gross. A lot of it was really gross. A lot of it was, first of all, like 12-year-olds who've never even kissed anyone writing about having sex with their favorites. Mm-hmm. A little smut action. And then as well as there's a lot of just like this person that I like getting really, really angry and being a dick to everyone but me. That was a very heavy theme in fan fiction as well. Just like Harry Styles. I'm pretty sure one of these like stories that I wrote involves Harry Styles fighting someone at the bar.
Oh my God.
Like, me as an adult now, if my boyfriend got into a fight at the bar, I would be mortified. I'd be like, stop. Oh my God. But when I was a kid...
I'm an aggressive person, so I think it would be fine. But I would probably be the one getting into a fight at the bar, honestly.
No, but I don't know. When I was a kid, I don't know why... I mean, I guess just in all medias, it's a theme. But I thought, I was like, oh yeah, I want my boyfriend to be just so mean and miserable to everyone but me.
Yeah.
Like,
just brooding and dark and tortured, you know? Yeah.
But now I'm like, if you're mean to the waitress, you're ugly. Ugly to me.
I don't need you to be brooding, dark, and tortured. I do enough of that myself. Just, you know, you can have your moments, I'll have mine. We'll support and be there for each other.
Abby's
and just be nice to everybody
the
else.
most dark and mysterious person I know.
I am.
Yeah.
I've, like, slowly just morphed into my own love interest. Like, honestly.
I love that. We're about to ruin it by reading her fan fiction.
Okay, so the thing is I never really read fan fictions when I was younger. Like, I didn't really read anybody else's. I would read my friends, like my best friend, because she was also into One Direction, and so she would write fan fictions. She also was into Dan and Phil, and so she wrote Dan and Phil one fan fictions, and so I would, like, read those ones. But I didn't really read anybody else's. I just was too interested in reading actual books. Which
I thought you were gonna say my own, because I was the best.
Well, no. That sounds pretentious, but, like, it's true. I just didn't really read what fan fictions that other people wrote. I read books, and I wrote fan fictions, and also, like, short stories and stuff like that. But, yeah, I don't know why I didn't really read fan fictions or, like, smut about my favorite or anything. I just wasn't really interested. I think I'm just, like, too gay. Because I would only ever read, like, lesbian... Because I was too scared. Okay, this might be TMI, but when I was younger, and I wanted to, you know, have a little me time. Why am I explaining this like our audience is 7 years old? I would Google, like, fan fictions of, like, famous celebrity women that I like and read lesbian smut instead of, like, my favorite or something, or straight person smut. Before I ever watched lesbian porn, I was too scared to watch porn because I was like, my parents are going to find out, I am going to be dead. I don't know what I thought the difference would be if I was, like, reading it as opposed to watching it, but, like, I would just read smut.
Yeah.
That was lesbian instead. So I never, like, I don't know, I just never really got into actual one-shots. But I did end up writing a chapter in the sequel to my first fan fiction about Brad, the lead singer of the Vamps. I wrote Losing My Virginity.
I didn't get that far.
Chapter.
I started reading it. Oh my god, I need to read that.
This is in the sequel. So the first is called Always Only You. My name on Wattpad is She Once Loved, if you want to look it up. Great storytelling by me. And I wrote a sequel to it because the first one was so well received that I was like, well, gotta tie up all these loose ends, but I never ended up finishing it, so sorry, but maybe, who knows, one day I don't even think I have access, actually, to my thing anymore. I could also email Wattpad and get access back, but anyways. Yeah, the sequel is called Love Has Never Been Easy. And this is chapter 13.
Oh, I wish I had like a drink. Like a stiff drink. I've been drinking bubbly out of my whiskey glass.
I should just take a little sip now.
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so excited.
Oh, wait. Sorry, it's not chapter 13. It's chapter 12.
Chapter 12.
Yeah.
Just for anyone who's going to go read it later.
Yeah, so I'm not going to read the entire chapter because I was just such a good writer that all of my chapters were actually, like, long. So that's a joke. but they were long. So to set the scene, I ended up going to Brad's house
Should I
after
close my
school
eyes?
one day. Yeah, sure.
Should I experience it?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's some good descriptions. So we were in Brad's bedroom after school one day, just hanging out, and we would have been in like the 10th grade at this point, so 15 years old.
Okay.
And this is 13-year-old me writing 15-year-old me losing her virginity. So this is some golden stuff. So first of all, he reads a class project to me, which involves an E.E. Cummings poem.
Sexy.
So he reads, he reads E.E. Cummings to me, in his accent. We say I love you for the first time. I love you too, I say, and he kisses me. It's soft, and it carries all of the unspoken words and feelings we've never shared. It's minty and warm, and mixed with whatever happiness would feel like. I never want to leave this room ever again as long as I can be here with Bradley. We kiss and we kiss, and at some point the barriers between us are removed and we are pressed together as one. Nervousness mixed with ecstasy and tender love is what I feel. Fingers fluttering over the curves of my hips. Wait. Down the crease of my spine, so gentle, as if they were handling the most precious thing in the world. I became vulnerable, moving towards what heaven would be like. Soft laughter, catching breaths. We are no more than two souls tangled together in his small room. Bradley and I, me and Bradley, together in the most intimate way, and we drift off to sleep, silent and light as a feather.
What? I'm trying to find the words. What a misleading representation of what sex is like.
Do you want to know how I lost my actual virginity, or should we get into that?
No, I want to know. That's fun.
Okay, it was in the back of... Can I say this? I hope my mom isn't listening. Well, if so, I guess we'll hash this out later.
I'll say mine too, just, in solidarity.
Yeah, it was in the back of my mom's Ford Flex in the Kingsway Mall Parkade, right before math tutoring, after school one day.
Abby, you shock me every day. I'm just enamored by you.
Oh, my mom is gonna fucking kill me. She is going to kill me.
She's gonna fly over there and...
Oh my god.
I lost my virginity at a party. It sucked. It was lame. I ate pizza after.
Was it with the person that you were dating, or was it just
Yeah, it was my first boyfriend. And then he got into a fight shortly after. Very shortly after.
It sounds like a fan fiction chapter.
It might be. No,
Yeah.
it was bad. Anyways, let's get back into our fake reality.
Yeah, so that was chapter 12 of Love Has Never Been Easy by She Once Loved on Wattpad.
It was pretty.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very nice.
I think it's safe to say that is not what my actual virginity loss experience was.
What adjectives would you use for how you actually lost your virginity?
Uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Bored.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
And the last one would be trashy. Just, yeah. No class whatsoever.
I think it's just funny reading these fan fictions growing up when you're like 12 or 13 and you're like, wow, losing your virginity is really beautiful. And then it happens and you're just like, that's it. That was boring and awful.
I don't even know if it was because of the fan fictions or like what my parents told me growing up, like because they're a big like wait till marriage and it's going to be the most beautiful experience. So I was like, "Oh, it's going to be beautiful? Great." It probably will never be that beautiful. Okay?
No.
It will not.
Also, don't get too wrapped up in the idea of virginity. You can just decide if you're one or not.
Yeah, we've been saying like losing our virginities a lot, but like I don't necessarily believe in that.
No.
It's more so of a having sex for the first time thing.
But the thing is, sex is different for everyone, so what does that even mean? Like losing your virginity?
Exactly. It's archaic and outdated, but it makes, you know.
What we're trying to say is don't go in with high hopes.
Yeah. Just do you. Do it when you're ready. Consent. Make sure your other partner consents. That's important. And hopefully you feel light as a feather afterwards.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I'm trying to picture it.
There has been sexual experiences that I've had. There have been sexual experiences that I've had where I do feel that way, but
rare.
Very few in between. And I'm usually high.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll have an episode on sex, I think.
Yeah.
That's our parents are prohibited from watching.
100%. It's fine. My mom already knows. Like, I was featured on my friend's podcast, and in the first 5 minutes, I make a joke about my pussy being huge, and she had to turn it off. So she knows. She's well trained.
That was a great podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Taya and the Reverse Cowgirl podcast.
I'd love to have her on sometime.
Yes, I think we should have her on for a sex episode.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is your formal invitation.
It is, 100%. Then we can see if she actually listens to our podcast.
Or if she just says, like wow, a great podcast, and doesn't actually listen.
Yeah. Which, also, by the way, congrats on getting our Twitter to 200 followers.
In Twitter, that's nothing. But I've been grinding very hard.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, though.
I forgot what I was going to say.
We've gained a bunch of new subscribers on YouTube, too. Which...
Yeah. I've been just, like, reaching out to a lot of other podcasts and stuff. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
I'm...
killing the game.
I have a lot of fun just talking to you once a week, so...
Yeah.
I don't really care if anyone else is listening.
No.
Like, it's really nice, and obviously we want to build, like, a community here, but at the end of the day...
This is fully self-gratifying.
Yeah,
like
it's just Abby and I catching up once a week.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have some fan fiction stuff or some one shots for us?
Let me see.
I'm so
My
excited.
Twitter got taken over by a bunch of bots, motherfuckers. Let's see what I got here. Okay, here's an example of me being obsessed with the idea of having a douchey boyfriend for some reason. I also wasn't very good at writing at this point. I'm a lot better now, but
Nice.
what is happening in this story is that I'm at the bar with Harry Styles, my boyfriend.
Perfect.
I think I wrote it. Yeah, I wrote it as a YN, which is when you don't have a name for the main character. You write YN as in your name, like insert your name. So we're at the bar, some guy's hitting on me, and Harry doesn't like it.
Okay.
It's not as beautiful as Abby's. You turned your back to see him standing with his hand on the guy's shoulder. Get your hand off of her now, he growled. Rawr. The guy stayed seated but removed his hand from my back, placing it on the back of my chair. Or what, pretty boy? The guy smirked. Or I'll break your fucking legs, Harry steamed.
This is giving me such, like, Flashbacks.
It's not good.
I love it.
But this is like, you can find thousands of fan fictions just like this one. This was like a lot of the content that we thought was so great.
Wait, was that it? I'll just break your fucking legs.
Yeah, he's gonna break your fucking legs. They get into a fight. But here's where it gets nice. So some guy talks to me and Harry beats the shit out of him, as you do. I'm pretty sure there's a part about him kicking his ribs, okay? But then I'm putting bandages on him and he brushes the hair out of my eyes and says, "So beautiful," he whispers. You smile shyly, standing up and bandaging the wounds on his chest. The wounds! He got fucked up. He placed his hand over yours. "I'm sorry for fighting. I just want you to be safe. I love you," he says, staring deeply into your eyes. "I love you too," you whisper, kissing his bruised lips. End scene. Thank you.
I like how he's basically just like a bloody pulp at that point.
Yeah, like this wasn't just like a bar fight where they swung a couple times. Like they were on the ground.
They beat the shit out of each other. Yeah.
Another theme that I wrote about a lot was like being super insecure and being like, "You're too good for me." So this is, I screenshotted a random part. Oh, Luke from 5 Seconds of Summer. I guess someone made a joke about us dating and we weren't dating and I got embarrassed and I ran out of the room. Are you all right? Luke asked. "Yeah, I felt awkward," you say, looking down. "Why?" he asked. "You decided to just let it out." My headphones are falling out. "'Cause I really like you, and I know it's stupid because you're way out of my league. But I don't know, it just makes me upset when people make jokes about us dating or when you flirt with me because I know it'll never happen," you sigh. "YN," he said quietly. "YN, I am not out of your league. You are out of mine. I've liked you for so long, but I didn't think you would like me back." You looked up at his eyes, not believing what was happening. "I really like you. You're smart and funny and beautiful and sweet. And I was wondering if you wanted to be my girlfriend," he said, blushing. So.
Wow. I love that.
So that's what I was fantasizing about when I was like 13.
Shit, yeah. Honestly, that's valid.
You're valid.
That sounds like so emotionally fulfilling.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to... A really great part about fan fictions, I think, in any fan fiction is that the writer often has like a very intense character description and often will either describe themselves, like a slightly tweaked version of themselves, or just like their ideal protagonist. And in all of my Bradley fan fictions, I would write myself.
I'm just thinking about that bit at the beginning of your story.
Do you know what's coming? Because this baby's getting red. I'm not going to read the entire first chapter, but I'll read my character description or my like protagonist monologue, which is me. I was probably 12 or 13 years old.
She was just so cool. And, like, who else would you write about?
No, honestly, no one understood me. No one got me. You know, like I've been a narcissist. Okay, I've been a narcissist. So, anyways, first chapter. Summer. It's supposed to be the most liberating season of the year for the typical teenager. It's hot. There's shirtless boys. You can get a tan, and you don't need to go to school. Heaven, right? Wrong. When your best friend decides to move to Toronto, and you're still mourning your traumatic breakup that happened more than a year ago.
Okay, Moira Rose.
When you're trapped, summer can be hell. especially when you're trapped in a small town where you have no friends because you're a social reject. And you can almost hear the deafening sound of nothing. So here I was, my first summer with absolutely nothing liberating about it. Yes, I'm a teenage girl, and no, I'm not ugly or crazy.
As most teenage girls are.
Yeah. I'm just shy. It's me.
I'm just weird. I'm a weirdo.
Literally. Nobody gets me. There's not a lot of excuses for my loneliness other than I like to keep to myself. Now I have a podcast called The Lonely Cast. What's up? I'm 15 and I start high school this year. I'm hoping it will mean a fresh start for myself. But then again, I'm considered different. I like writing, singing, acting, guitar, and volleyball. Sounds normal? Of course it does. But there's something that never allows me to fit in with people, and I'm still trying to figure that out myself. So here I am, another drab summer's day. I grab my black American Eagle fringe shoulder bag, and I take one last look in the full-length mirror before I leave my house. Same long, dark brown hair hanging in messy waves down my back, green eyes staring back at me, framed by some mascara. My Ramones tank top tucked into a pair of faded high-waisted shorts thrifted and cut by me. Not me still dressing like
That's
this.
my favorite part.
Yeah. Last but not least, my brown combat boots. Worn out from days of wear and tear, I shrug at my lazy, grungy appearance and grab my retro pink basket bike from the garage and head out into the piercing heat.
She's been different.
I've been different. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just,
I'm not like the other girls, you see.
It's funny because everything you described is what everyone was wearing at the time.
It really was. Not in Spruce Grove. I will give myself that. Because of where I grew up, I think I really did hit the quirky girl thing right on the head.
Nice.
But that doesn't mean you have a personality. That doesn't carry you through anything.
What was the, like, every fan fiction, the main person was like shy, didn't have any friends, like dressed different. It's like, why can't they have friends?
I mean, honestly, I think probably because the writers of those fan fictions, that's their only lived experience growing up.
Yeah. Man, I just called myself out. Fuck.
Yeah. But I think it's been tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Of like the nerdy girl turned, beauty or whatever. It's always what we wanted because women have always been told that they're never going to be good enough until a man comes into their life and makes them worth it,
No thanks.
Lame. Dumb. We say no to that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a terrible idea.
It was funny when I started hanging out with boys in like grade 9 just because I had really pretty friends. I was like, wow, boys aren't like the fan fictions. They kind of suck. They're kind of very not interesting. And I don't mean all boys, but like 9th grade boys. I'm like, cool, I don't want to listen to you talk about hockey for 2 hours. No. Are you going to gaze into my eyes and tell me I'm the prettiest thing you've ever seen?
Yeah, that's still my experience with dating. I'm like, why aren't you like the ones that I wrote about?
Mm-hmm. I saw a post that crushed me, and it was like, the reason you feel so emotionally attached and so into these like male characters are because they're written by women.
Oh my god, true. Yeah, my ideal man probably doesn't exist.
No, it's all written by a woman.
Mm-hmm. Which means I should probably just date women. I get it. Universe, okay. My hands are tied.
How many more signs can we
no.
give you, Abigail?
Yeah. Wow. That's depressing.
It fucked me up. Because it's my mental illness, but I get really, really emotionally attached to shows and stuff. Like, when I rewatch Twilight, I, like, have a mental breakdown for, like, 3 days. Just because I know...
I don't mean to laugh at that. I really don't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But it's just, like... I don't know, just knowing that isn't possible, that I'm not gonna get a vampire boyfriend, really fucks me up. It's not that aspect, it's more so just like, life isn't like this. Life isn't like the movies. And I'm a very emotional person, so I'm like, I need the passion, I need the push and pull.
Yeah.
But that's not real life.
I feel like I'm the same way, and I will go to all ends.
Not an episode if I don't do that at least once.
You're a little paused right now.
I pause myself. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey.
Oh, we're back.
Sorry, guys. I'm an idiot.
What I was saying was, I think I'm kind of the same way. My entire life, I've been wrapped up in these fantasy ideals of, like, what romance and relationships are going to be like, whether that be from, like, film or from literature or from, like, the fan fictions that I would write or something like that. Like, I've always had this really idealized type of existence, that it's hard for me to accept anything less than that. And I've reconciled to the fact that it's not healthy, and I recognize that. Like, I don't have expectations that life will be like that, but there's still a part of me that, just to make things more bearable and enjoyable, I will romanticize them. Yeah. Just a little bit.
I still daydream. I still like, I don't know, I just grew up not having many friends up until I hit about grade 9. And even then, like, in high school, you don't feel like anyone actually likes you. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people I hung out with didn't like me, but it's high school.
Yeah.
As well as just, like, some at-home stuff. I was constantly trying to escape reality, which is where, like, Stan Twitter came in and, like, fan fictions and all that stuff. It was just like, what if my life was like this? I'm pretty content where I'm at right now, but there's still a part of me. It's something that you gotta, like, work through.
100%.
I'm a lot better at it. I used to, like, cry all the time.
Yeah.
I was just like, my life's never gonna be like this.
I wish I was doing this,
yeah.
like, living this life, living here in this place and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got kind of sad.
I mean, like, but it's kind of, like, it's good to talk about, because we need to realize that, like, this life really is, like, it's what we make it. And as we grow older, depending on our privilege and stuff like that, we have the opportunity to shape our lives in the way that we want it to look. And I think it's so important to remember that growing up, because we don't have to be constantly hating every aspect of our lives, you know? Like, we might have our moments, but, like, through that, there's some moments of true contentment that I've realized in my adult life, that, like, there are things about myself that I would never change. There are things about my circumstances that I would never change. Like, still, every day I wake up and, like, have to remind myself to be grateful. And, like, yeah, there are still moments where I'll be like, I'm going to go to the farmer's market today and I'm going to dress very cute, and, like, who knows, maybe I'll meet the love of my life. And, like, we'll, like, glance at each other across the tomatoes and fall in love or whatever. And you know what? Sometimes it's just fun to think like that. And, like, there's no harm as long as you're not living in your daydreams and disappointed by actual reality all the time. I think it's okay to be a little romantic about things. Because, I mean, I'm cursed. I forever will be. I'm very tied to, like, big feelings and big emotions, and crazy circumstances and serendipity or whatever. I'm very tied to that. And so far my life has had a good amount of that, and I'm okay with it. Has it all been healthy? No. But
you know
what? It's been a learning experience, and I'm very grateful for all of the stories that I mean, fuck, like, that's where my stories come from, right? Like,
it's something I've been thinking about a lot and kind of working through, because I was really bad for just, like, thinking about doing things, because I was so obsessed with, I mean, I don't really care what people think, but there's still, like, in the back of your head, even if you say that, it's like, what are people going to think of this video we're posting? Like, whatever. At the end of the day, your life is only going to get exciting, and it's only going to be what you want it to be if you, like, do those things that you want to do. Like, we've talked about it before, but this is something we've been wanting to do forever, and yeah, right now we have, like, I think under 20 subscribers on YouTube, but like, who cares? We're doing it, and it could lead to something great, or it could just be something that we do for fun, and, like, that's fine. Like, just get out there and do those things. I know it's hard for those of you like me and Abby who grew up just dreaming about doing things and, like, thinking all the time about doing things, but just try it. Go out there and do it.
Exactly. Just do it because it makes you feel good, and it makes you feel happy. Because I think, like, that's the biggest thing, especially with this project, too, is, like, I don't necessarily care how many listens or views we get to each episode. We get on each episode. Wow, something's happening. What I enjoy is, like, the process of it all, and, like, editing and making thumbnails and having this conversation with you even. Like, it just, like, it's something where I'm like, man, I'm so grateful to be doing this. So that's what's important. Like, that's what you're missing out on if you're not trying the things that you want to try. You know? Like, you might learn so much about yourself, and you might experience so much joy from just doing that one thing. So go for it, bud. You can totally date your favorite boy band member. Hell yeah.
You just might have to, like,
I believe in you.
Stalk them a little.
just a little. Just make some accidental run-ins here and there. Move to a different country or something. I don't know. But we don't endorse that. That was a joke entirely. Please don't stalk your favorite boy band member in hopes to start a relationship with them.
This has been a PSA.
But never lose faith. Never lose
No,
hope.
because there are actors and pop stars that end up dating fans.
Yeah, and, like, who knows? Maybe your boyfriend will turn into a famous boy band member.
Date musicians.
The girlfriend. I have stuff to update on you on after this podcast.
Okay, guys, we gotta go. I got some tea, some piping tea.
Thanks for listening to the 6th episode.
Yeah.
I think this is, like, a pretty good place to end it, though.
Yeah. And I'm curious.
Wow, that was a beautiful, beautiful episode. Oh, about my gossip?
Yeah. No, but I think we just thought we were gonna come on here and goof off for an hour reading our fan fiction, but I think we got somewhere with this.
Yeah, that came, like, full circle. That was really beautiful.
Wow. We're great.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
I know. Look at us. Professionals.
All of our links will be down below. Follow our social medias. Say hello. Doug Hoyer.
Shout out, sir.
Intro and outro.
Thank you for the intro, outro. And Mal.
Oh.
I know you said last episode you weren't going to shout him
Yeah,
out
I don't know
anymore.
why I said that. I'm so impulsive sometimes. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, why am I saying that? I love my boyfriend. He's an angel. My boyfriend made all of our graphics and stuff. So thank you, Mal. Love you. Mm-hmm. And
see you guys next week.
Yeah, when we'll talk about, who knows? We kind of just decide.
We have a plan. We have a plan. We have a plan. It's a surprise.
Oh,
okay.
right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.